Huh. Well, let's see. Can I see who the two people? No. Can the chat? Yeah, live chat. There we go. Let's see. You guys hear me all right? Let's see. Oh yeah, let's turn off the. Let's go to Do Not Disturb. So it's not as loud. Can you guys hear me all right? It's saying I got one viewer already. That's shocking. Let's see. It's a little early. I made the announcement that I would be live at 6 o'clock, but feel free to ask a question now if you want. I'll do a little bit of history time here. I don't even know if there's actual people watching or not. If you want to be brought on screen, I think there's a way I could do that as well. Ah, I could see myself. Yeah. Jason the YouTube star, I guess, is the name that's going out there. So this is a live Q&A. Plus a little bit of a history lesson about the network here. I can hear Kevin get in there. See how delayed it is. Got a bunch of people watching on the network. I think that's why there was people already in there. I don't know if it let me view where I'm new to all of this stuff here too. There ain't really anybody talking. I'm playing on the phone that I'm streaming from. The node from. Let's see. 4 watching. I got 3 there. Live chat. It says I could. I don't know. Waiting on guests. It's supposed to have the way of. You guys could ask to be on camera as well, but maybe that's because I'm viewing from myself. So I just wanted the messages to go out there a little bit. If you guys got a Q&A, I think most of you guys, I sent it out to the network's chat before I sent it out to the rest of the world out there. It is windy as shit right now in central Iowa. Now people are just acting like a goof because they want to see the thing. See the delay. I need to reprogram my node. Well, it ain't hard. It ain't hard. If you need help, shoot me an email, gmrs101,000 at gmail.com. What do you need to reprogram? Do you need to do what like was on that last video, or are you trying to do total brand new, or what? But you can email gmrs 10,000. A little bit of the history lesson of the network. 10,000 was supposed to be the initial. 10,000 was supposed to be the initial hub number with Wi-Fi. Well, it's one of the number options. Are you able to into your equipment? Do you know how to do that? I mean, if you're using a lot of the newer stuff, they're using the Ham VoIP edition, which has menu option and admin menu. Even I think the new All Star software does as well. That has um, the Wi-Fi information There's actually one of the videos on this channel on how to do the Wi-Fi information. It's in there with a couple other things. I trump a lot of stuff in there because I mean it's all kind of basic stuff when it comes down to it. You need to know how to get it to come onto the network, and you need to know how to set up the Wi-Fi and the time and stuff for the first timers. If you're on this network, refer to your welcome email. I don't recognize the username. Refer to the welcome email, and I actually in the videos there's an actual video playlist, and a lot of the videos that you would be looking for is in there retaining to the Wi-Fi. I have done videos on the Wi-Fi connection. If you don't know how to access your Pi, yes, Sunday's video, the very last video that I posted, will give you a good in depth on how to access your Raspberry Pi. That was one that I haven't done in a long time, is actually on how to access it, where I actually did that with the last video. So I'm kind of ignoring the network right now to pay attention to YouTube here. Um, we got 5 people watching. We got one person with some, I'm guessing, bogus uh, email or whatchamacallit. I don't know how to read, so pardon me. And I gotta get a little close. I hate that it disappears. But yeah, Wi-Fi isn't hard. Or if you had it connected to a Wi-Fi before, and this is going to make a lot of people's life easier. Sure, if you want to wait for the delay. But anyways, um, when you transfer, I didn't hear it. I don't have my radio ears anywhere. I don't know what it is. But quit distracting me, Kevin. Anyways, um, now I'm totally lost on where I was at with the train of thought. But no, man, it's fucking cold out there. It's protecting my face. It's nice, but yeah, it's simple enough. I'm trying to give time for the top of the hour here to let people mosey on in here because I was going to make an announcement tonight. Um, kind of bust some things out and debunk some things. I'm tired of people trying to spread shit, calling me a liar and shit, and I don't put up with that shit. I'm gonna nip it in the butt right when I find out about it, and that's what this video is about. I'm not when I'm doing these videos. I'm not lying to you guys. There's really no point to me lying to you guys. The network up until I made that last video has been very quiet. Anybody on the network can admit to that. There's usually an occasional 1 or 2 people on there at a time, and it's usually for a couple minutes at a clip, and then they're gone. And that's the thing, is a lot of the people on the network have never met each other. They're not even remotely in the same neighborhood with each other. Where with a lot of other networks, there's a bunch of little cliques, that there's a bunch of people that they can get together and they can have dinners, and they can meet each other and actually talk to each other. With this network, we're spread apart across the entire country. We have from upper state New York to central California, and we have out in Hawaii. And I've had the fortunate enough where I've actually met a couple of the people from the network, and that was awesome. I never thought I was going to be able to meet anybody off the network, but because I am a truck driver and stuff, I was able to meet a couple of people, and because I live close enough to somebody that wanted to join the network, I was able to meet some people. Um, and so there's also, let's see, I'm gonna pull up something that I got sent here today, and I'm gonna wait until the top of the hour to actually start getting into the full thing here. But I do want to have people ask questions when it comes to actually the network. And I mean, I was perfectly okay with you asking about the Wi-Fi. Hopefully, I helped you with your question and on how to get the information to it. I don't know what network you're on. I don't recognize the name. But oh, that's it. Wi-Fi. Wi-Fi for you if you change internet service providers or you happen to buy a new router. I didn't realize I had the window open. If you happen to buy a new router and you have to get the name or you change internet service providers, and it's a lot simpler if you just change it to what you originally had it as. So if you've been on a network and you moved or changed internet or whatever, it's easier to have your ISP change it to whatever it was with the other service or the other router, because then all of your devices will now re-jump in there. If you've got a family like mine, I've got three kids and a wife, I've got two phones, I've got a laptop, I've got a tablet, I've got, quite a few things. Each of the kids have tablets, each of the kids have TVs. And if I have to go through each of those damn devices and change it, I dropped an ISP because they wanted to change it. They wanted to charge me. Okay, so I wrote it down for the wife when they came to my house to actually set it up for the first time. I wrote it down for her and said, "Here, give it to the guy, and this is what they need to have it as." Hey, look, there's a reminder. That paused it, but I wrote it down on a piece of paper and said, "Here, give it to this dude." And I come home and my cell phone did not immediately connect. I'm like, "What the fuck?" And of course, he screwed up the 5G, and the 5G is what I did the nodes on when I was making the radio box SNs. So I was pissed, and I called them up, and I had them change it, and they changed it, and they still screwed it up. And I'm like, "What the fuck, you guys? Get your heads out of your ass!" And they were like, "Well, we're gonna charge you if we have to change it again." I'm like, "Hold up! I've been telling you guys the same thing from the very first moment they came into my house. It was written down and handed on a piece of paper to the guy that installed it. He fucked it up. Then I told it to the person on the other phone. He fucked it up. So why are you going to make me pay to have my thing changed when I've been telling? It's been the same thing. I'm not screwing it up. It's been the same name, and it's my network's name. It's been the same name for the last 5 years, but you're going to charge me. So no, no, I don't like being under people's thumbs like that. And so I went and I spent the $180 or whatever and got myself a nice router. And which will get me to another point after the hour here, because of the gossip going around of me hosting it in a garage. I wish I could get internet out of the garage. I probably could. I own my house now, so I can run wires if I want to. I do have power running out to my garage. It wouldn't be nothing. I've got 1,000 or not 1,000, 100-foot Ethernet cable that my wife bought for when she was working out of the basement. So I could run it to there, and then I don't have to worry about the kids fucking with the power supply because right now it's in my living room, and yeah, they occasionally do kill the power. So we had 2 weeks where I accidentally had the network crash for a split second, and we rebounded from that pretty quickly, which was surprising. Let's see here. Got 6 people. So again, if you want to ask questions about TGLN, feel free to. That's what it's all about: is you asking questions, getting to know me. I'm trying to let some of the people on the network BS on the network, but like I said, it's very hard getting people that don't know each other to open up. So I got to really get in there and I got to pry in there and get people to kind of open up, and then people start hearing what other people are saying, and then they start, oh man, we got something in common here, and they start talking. But let's see here. So right here is our station status page. All right, let's see if we can get this to focus right. All right, there's all the nodes. All these are connected to us right here. I got to angle the phone. Each one of these little boxes are nodes that are connected. So it's not an issue. It is not an issue. If you go to our status page, you can see it. It's not an issue of people that the network's dead because people are just not talking. It's not that they're not here. There's plenty of people connected to us, and I can sit here and count these off. Let's see: 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19, 20, 21, 22, 23, 24, 25, 26, 27, 28, 29, 30, 31. 31. 31 people connected to us right now. Yes, granted, the last keyed was 8 minutes ago, so they're probably watching video. There was somebody just keyed just now. Doing TikTok videos. I don't know. But so yeah, it's not a matter of the people aren't not there. I mean, and the network has been running, and okay, so here's the other thing too. Yes, the network is running out of my living room. Okay, it's not a matter of where it's running out of. It's a matter of uptime. I can guarantee uptime because I have it running out of my living room. I have data centers in two different locations on kind of different geographical parts of the land. I don't remember if so I had one in Atlanta and I had one I had four data centers at one point in time. And I dwindled it down to two. And I really don't need the data centers. I don't. There's really, for this network, there is no need for me to have the data center. And I will get to that part. I'm kind of going over a lot of shit here before the top of the hour because there's actually people listening or on here. There's six people watching, so I don't mind kind of going on into a little bit of a tyrant. But I do have the data centers, and I did not want to run out of the data centers. And the only reason why I did was because I could not, unfortunately, rely on the backup person when we needed it. And it wasn't his fault. He was in the hospital when we needed it. And when we first were going, there was a person and I don't know, he could speak up right now if he wants to and let himself be known. But he hosted a backup hub out of his house for the network for a year or two, maybe even three. And the only time we absolutely needed him because I had a power failure at my house, a storm went through, and he was in the hospital. And unfortunately, the network was down. There wasn't much I could do about it. And so the group at the time that was on the network decided, hey, we want to chip in to go get a data center. So they did. And I let them talk me into it. And when I got the data centers, it was great. And it became kind of like a competition at that point. Um, After having the data center up for so long, a group of people had ventured off and they started up a network and opened up it and started running it off at the data center as well. But I started having issues, and the data center was always having an issue. And I don't know if it was the data center, hi Andy, or if it was the software, because when you're running it, I don't know if you guys know the difference. There's the All Star software and there's the Ham VoIP software. Well, in order to get it to run onto a desktop computer or um, the servers, the actual cloud servers from wherever you get them from, the data centers, um, those are desktop clients that are actually from All Star, and there's a feud going on between Hamvoip and All Star. So I've often wondered if there's was been a conflict because it never failed. When I had it up in the data centers, I always had issues. I had issues with the data centers, and when I brought it back to my house and running it on a Raspberry Pi, I even ran a Raspberry Pi uh, 3 with it before, and it ran just fine. I have it on a Raspberry Pi 4 at the moment with an 8 gig processor, and I don't think we have a lot of issues. I think a lot of the issues are on the other people's end because it's hit or miss if people sound good or if they sound bad. Unfortunately, I am mobile. So when I am mobile, this thing doesn't always get the best of service. And when it doesn't get the best of service, I don't hear the best of quality. I don't hear the best of things, and I can't get out the best of things, and it sucks. I mean, sometimes it sucks. I'll be getting into a conversation with somebody, and then I'll drive into a dead zone. But yeah, so here it is, the top of the hour. We got 7 people watching. I'm gonna look at something here that I got sent from. So I released the video, the last video. Anybody that has the stuff that we are, the software that we are using, and by doing that, it irked off another network's admin or whatever the hell he is, owner. And
yeah, I'd sue him because his lawyer is doing him and how.
I gotta watch it because I've already been threatened to be sued once, and I didn't do anything. That's the thing, is people think that I'm asking people to do things, and I don't.
He said, don't try to sue Dave because his lawyer is doing him and how.
And if I do something, I admit to it. I don't, pussyfoot around it. And so, fucking Denny. Oh yeah, okay. So that comes to another thing. The network doesn't use call signs because why? Why should it? Because it's the law that really isn't a law. It takes a lot to get in trouble for this law. I mean, do you not do 5 miles an hour over the speed limit? You got more likelihood of getting caught for doing 5 mile an hour over the speed limit in a town that you've never been into than you do getting caught talking on GMRS without a call sign, or any radio without a call sign, I should say. It's more self-governed. And when we first started this network, and this is the history lesson in the name. When I first started the network, I was asking for people's verification of everything, because when I joined a ham network, that's what I was asked for. I was asked for a copy of my call sign. I was asked. I wasn't asked for a picture of my hardware, and there's a reason why I asked for a picture of your hardware, and that is because I sat on the phone with somebody for like 2 or 3 hours one day just to find out they went down to Best Buy, got themselves a sound card, plugged in the headphone jacks to the headphone jack plug, plugged in the uh, microphone jack into the microphone jack plug, and called it good. And anybody that's on the network knows that's not going to work. And I sat there for like 2 hours, and then I was like, I can't do this anymore. That was not the first time. That was just the breaking point. When I first got going, I had to sit on the computer with people for hours and get their stuff going for them. I would just log in and do it for them. I didn't mind doing that. And over the years, I've adapted the software. I've gotten to learn a little bit more and a little bit more as we go on. I don't know Linux at all. I know the software. And so, yeah, that's pretty much where it started. And it started back in my house, and I started the network, and the way it went. And the only time we absolutely needed the data or the backup wasn't there, and that's why I went to the data centers. I talk in circles. Don't mind me. Oh, I was looking up a picture. I'm going to clarify a little. Oh, the names. Oh, so when it comes to call signs, I don't feel I need to enforce that anymore. I don't. And the reason why I don't feel like I need to enforce that anymore is because of what I was seeing going on in a Zello channel, on a GMRS Zello channel that was connected to our network back when I was still verifying with everybody. And literally all they were doing was they were going on to the Zello channel and they were like, okay, your name's Jason. Yep, okay. And your call sign's WQXN966. Okay. And they go on the website and they say, oh, okay, it's valid. You're good to go. I could create a profile account in anybody's name, put anybody's call sign on there. And that's what opened my eyes. I was like, screw it. They opened up the door for a lot of liability on that aspect of somebody coming in that was not licensed. And let me tell you why I thought of that. Because I used to do shit like that. And I eventually winded up getting my license and doing it the right way. And after spending $80 for 5 years and then my license lapsing, and it wasn't because of the money. No, I mean, yeah, granted, I would have still had to pay like $70 when it expired, and I could go get it now for 35 or whatever the hell it is. It's just the fact of why I'm in a place with people that call me Jason versus some government issued ID that gives out all of your personal information as far as your address and stuff. And some people may or may not be worried about it. But when you have somebody knock on your door and your wife is like, how'd they know where you live? And you tell them, well, my node is broadcasting my ID and that has my address. She's like, oh, wow. And the thing is I piss people off, as you guys could see. And, so I don't know where these people come from. They could come up and try and kick my ass. And same with you. You could offend somebody on the air, and now you've given them your fucking where you're at. Go for it. Have fun. Because the government wants you to say a fucking call sign so they know where you're at. That's why they want you to say it. They don't want to have to take the time if you're screwing around to hunt you down. And to be honest, they don't care. They really don't. And I'd rather learn your name. Like Denny just popped in here a few minutes ago, and Kevin popped in a few minutes ago, and Teddy popped in a few minutes ago. I think that's the only ones that have popped in since I've been on the video. Maybe Scott, maybe Scott. Um, but I'd rather call you by name than some government issued ID that is irrelevant to me. Bill is here. Not on the radio. You're on the YouTube. But that's why I'd rather make it like it's a group of people sitting at home on their couch bullshitting versus a group of stuffy, stuck up people that want to hear something that is irrelevant. It really is. If you absolutely think about it, it's irrelevant. I mean, it is. It's it's free airwaves. They're the ones that open the door to being able to go to Walmart and buy a radio from Walmart and be able to talk on GMRS channels. They're the ones that opened that door. And I just explored it. The network is actually kind of geared towards a little bit of something that I don't know if a lot of people realize. It is geared towards those Walmart people, the people that go to Walmart and buy a radio, and because it says that I could talk 2 miles, and then you get home and you give one of your wife's or your kids or whatever, and they get like a half a mile, 2 miles down the road, and it don't work, and then you're sitting there scanning, and all of a sudden you're here in California, or you're here in New York, or you're here in Iowa, and you're like, whoa, what's this? And then you want to know how you could get onto it. Well, with a repeater, you can't. And so that's part of the reason why the network is a simplex node network. And granted, repeaters are a pain in the ass to get going, and I kind of stopped taking repeaters if they didn't know what they were doing, and that's because of my time schedule and the work I put into things, and I couldn't do it. Every repeater is different. It is very complex, and it is a pain in the butt sometimes. And even doing simplex nodes, when you start messing around with the different mobile radios and stuff, that could be a pain in the butt. So it is my kudos to the other networks for getting all those other people up and running. Yes, kudos to you. You did something I did not want to do, but you're also doing something I don't agree with, and that's making a mandatory $15 deposit. I hope I don't need to move. A mandatory $15 annual deposit. I have issued over 300 node numbers. Let me do some math. I turned the radio down on them. I have done over, I have issued over 300 node numbers. Let's see, 15. And that's another kind of the reason why I stopped doing radio boxes. I don't want to pay taxes on that shit. I mean, when I first got into it, I was literally pretty much paying pennies over, or you were paying pennies over what I was paying to get the stuff. And, and now the stuff's just up there, and good luck keep trying to get it. So, anyways, 15 times 300 people. I would have made $4,500 just off the people, um, that I've had come and go over the network. From what? Because I host a hub where people could come and hang out. Yeah, if I was going to make it a paid service, I would have done it from the beginning, not switched it up in the middle of it, and now all of a sudden say, "Hey, gimme." It's a free service. It's a membership service. It's free service, but it's donations only of $15 annually. This stuff could be done for free. That's one of the reasons why I like this stuff, this software, is because we host it. You as a node owner host your own stuff. You can do it all on your own with a little bit of help. I don't mind offering up that help if you want to come talk. I'm in it to talk to people. I don't understand why people try to make me out as such a bad dude. All I want to do is talk. I sit in this damn truck driving down the fucking road, bored out of my damn mind, and all I want to do is be able to pick this thing up and say, "What up, fools?" And let's see how long it takes. You know, but that's all I wanted to do. And yes, I openly admit. So I don't. I'm gonna get to. Oh, who the hell's that? Come on. Where's it at? I am looking into a repeater system for my metal system. I don't get into repeaters because a lot of people want to get into them for things like that. I want to bullshit with somebody. I want to be able to talk with somebody, find out how they're doing today, what they've been up to. That's really about it. Share my experiences with them. I am kind of a radio personality. I've been doing this for 5 years with this network and a couple years on another network. And I run out of shit to talk about. So, yes, I do make up some shit on the network when it comes to some shit. But that's just to make up something to talk about. And if that makes me a liar, then so be it. That makes me a liar. I hope I don't need to move. What's this? Is it like a CB radio? Come on, Josh, really? Come on, the stupid comments fade away. Let's see. I'm looking at that's a lot of what we are going to do as a phone system here in rural Missouri. Well, yeah, essentially that's what the software is. It's a phone system. And if being free and having the way to speak how you want to is that CB? I mean, I guess if that's I mean, I stemmed from CB. That's where I got my start was from CB, and there was a really nice group of people that we sat around every evening bullshitting in the Tennessee foothills, Knoxville, Tennessee. Yeah, buddy, I miss those days, man. But anyways, I was sent something today, and I want to kind of go over this a little bit here. So I was called an idiot. Okay, thanks. Appreciate that. I been called worse. I mean, this guy called me a clown too. I guess I was a pretty good class clown. I guess if I could paint this right, I could paint this with different colors. Ah! All right. No one wants to talk to him. I don't think it's necessarily nobody wants to talk to me. I think it's that they're just busy. Like I said, there's so many people connected. I just think they're busy. He calls it a network, but it's just a few little hubs in my garage. Okay, I touched on this a little bit ago. It's in my living room, not my garage. I should, I might. Thanks for the suggestion. I might run it out to my garage. And the reason why it's running out of my garage, can you shoot skip on this network? Come on, Josh, really? Why are you distracting me? Um, so yeah, it's not running in my garage, which actually it would be probably better off in my garage because then I know my kids won't hit the power plug because it's currently running in my living room next to where the kids plug in their tablets. The kids get fighting, tablets get pulled, power plug gets pulled with it. And it yanked the network out once. I got mad at the kids, unplugged my TV, and unplugged the network. And I meant to move some stuff around last week. And if I do it correctly, I you you as a network user will not even notice that I moved from my house to the data center. I do have two data centers. I choose not to use them for the primary use of the network. I choose to use them as a backup because my house is enough. It works well enough for the network. So why should I put it on something that I had issues with? I'd rather not unless I absolutely had to in a pinch of losing power in my house, which I have a generator. I am getting fiber that is 3 blocks away from where I live that is running underground. The place that has the fiber coming into it is running a big ass generator in the backyard. Unless it fails, then I don't foresee the internet being that big of an issue. I have, but for the mean of being able to run around if I'm not even home to get that shit hooked up, I do have the data center to where I could just send it over to the data centers. If I know it's going to happen, like a big storm's going to roll in, which I probably should move it. They're calling for a big ice storm and stuff. Um, so the network might have a restart number when I do things like that. Right now, we've got a node connected over 300 hours. To me, uptime is the biggest importance when it comes to the network. How would you like it if you walked up and your cell phone didn't work? And you're paying for that. You know, and so I have the same feeling about the network. And you do not have to pay for it. You bought your hardware and you're in with TGLN. That is, there's other networks that are apparently making you pay annual fees. Not recommended. Um, when you could do it on your own, especially if you are running a hub. If you have a hub on another network and they're charging you, then run it on your own. Since there is no call signs, do you use handles over and out? Names. Come on, Josh. Why is this not Josh? Why are you asking such dumb questions that you know? I guess for people that aren't on here. But I said we use names like Josh. Is that not your name? I mean, I like I said, I'd rather um, call people by name than by some government issued call sign. I mean, that's just got to be my personal beliefs in it. And if that makes my network bad, then so be it. It is what it is. The people that are on there still enjoy it, and when they can, I guess. I mean, I have my good and my downsides, and yes, I am uh, getting to be kind of bipolar. Somebody mentioned that in a comment. Oh man, this guy's kind of all over the place. Yes, I am. There's a lot of times where I just want to shut this thing down, but I cannot do that. I run with two cell signs. One's one, two. I don't understand what that has to do with anything. Let's see. Back to the little thing here. So this other group, a person from another group on another network. Let's see if we can break that down. A person, a user, I believe, or a hub maintainer. I'm not even sure what he is on this other network. Um, Decided he wanted to put a hub over here. Fine. He let his people know, hey, you can also dial over here. And this is a different network, one that you guys have never been on. And immediately the other network of the group or network that they're on, the register hoster, let's call it. I don't know what else to call him. I mean, he thinks he's a mastermind, the master of the key, but you could do it on your own. Aaron is an emergency radio, mostly ham based. Oh, but runs on GMRS. Don't care. I If there's a time in emergency, I'm not worried about my people on the radio. I know if I pull through, they'll be there when I come out. If there's an emergency, yes, I might have my kids have radios because these aren't going to be totally reliable. But as far as like having a whole event thing, whatever, that's your own thing. I'm not talking about setting up repeaters right now. All right. So, anyways, this guy uh, from another network and a group of another network. By the way, in front of Minnesota, but yeah, the Mississippi River. But my all right. Thanks, Farley. I've been no. I think that's the wrong side of the river. I when I'm going down. Oh, that's Missouri. I don't go down that far too often. But anyways, so I don't I don't like that people are getting blocked off of other networks because they decided to put a hub on here that allows other people to dial in. When other networks, if they would work with other networks, they would be able to work with each other to be able to stop direct connection. If we would educate the people on how to actually drop before you move around, but it happens, you know. And so bridging might happen, but we're all still people. And for the most part, I think we all speak English. I mean, I don't, there might be some areas and some networks that don't, and that's whatever. But so yeah, let's. So that guy got banned from the other network, and it's like, why? I mean, what was the purpose? Because you want to have control over his nodes. That yeah, well, quit distracting me, damn it. So he goes on to his the owner of this other network goes onto his Facebook page and writes this message to his all of his people, saying that I asked the guy to bridge the networks together. I didn't. Why would I? I did not ask him to bridge them together, but I did not ask him to drop them. I was guilty of that because I don't care. Let him bridge it. To me, we're all in it to talk, right? So if it's bridged, then there's that many more people hearing me. I'm not going to tell him to drop it. That's your job, the administration of your network, to drop it, not mine. I don't have that issue. That's part of the open door network. The only thing I had an issue with is this admin from the other network blocked all of this guy's nodes from being able to connect to everybody else on the network, but his own personal little hub that's called the admin hub, and camped in there with his cell phone and his travel node and said they're listening to us. By all means, we're entertainment. I don't care. Listen. And then, but to me, if you're going to block him, stay away from him. Don't go sit there camping in his backyard when you just pissed him off yours. So, all right. So this guy is no longer part of the membership. Yep. Well, hopefully he did not pay for that membership before he got the boot. That guy actually apologized to me for the way that that other admin had handled the situation. No need to apologize. No need to apologize. This guy I've been dealing with for years, and he calls me a clown, but he plays into my palm. So let's see. Jason is talking big crap. Yep, I like doing that. And someone will fall for it. Well, when I speak the truth in my crap, then usually they don't need to follow through, fall for it, because I'm usually speaking the truth. I'm not really lying to people about shit. I mean, why would I tell you, hey, come join the Dead Network or this network? I'm sorry. Had anybody even mentioned? Has anybody even heard me mention? Oh, this network's hopping. This network's hopping, man. You got to come join us. Come join us. No, the last couple of videos I did, network's dead. Why do you want to join the dead network? But yet, this person still made the conscious decision to put a hub on and allow his people to come over, which is no different than the way this other network is set up. It's just it doesn't have me on it. It doesn't have the potential to have unlicensed. Hopefully, knocked it out of this thing. Now you guys are getting a tour of the truck. All right, let's see if we can put that back. I don't know where the comments went. Old school thing yet. Let's see. Where's the buttons? Right there. All right. See if I can get this thing back up and working. All right, let's see what kind of comments we got here. Top comments. Let's see. Old school GMRS a thing yet? What the hell is old school GMRS? I'm up to buying. I'm up by Wausau and as fuck up here. That's why I started the network, because I was down in Plover and it was dead down in Plover. So that's why I actually started the network, was because I had all these GMRS radios when I moved up from Chicago. No, I'm not on the shitter. I am in the bunk. This is my bedroom. Um, yeah, it fell on the floor, but that's why I started the network. There used to be a very good repeater up in Wausau, and um, it disappeared. If you are seriously interested and because you are so close, email me, gmrs101000 at gmail.com. And I mean, if you're that close, we could work something out. I don't mind helping out people that are close to me. I tried years ago. I had this brilliant idea years ago because I don't want to own a repeater, but I want to have the investment in like a repeater owner. So I had this brilliant idea that I would send 5 people nodes. And the first two that I sent out, the first one I got back in shambles like 2 months later. And the second one I got out, I got the person said that he was getting out of the hobby and that he would send me back everything. That was my only hangup. Was I sent you a free node and you had to stay on the network, and if you decided you were going to leave, send it back to me. And he said I was going to send it back to you, and he was going to send me even his mobile radio. And that was the last I heard from that guy, and that was like 2 or 3 years ago. So that kind of burnt that bridge. But if you were that close to me up in Wausau, man, I could hook you up. You know, I've got extra components laying around the house. I can get you going and just have a repo man situation. So, anyways, let's get back to reading this thing here. So
I didn't get no free node.
because you already had some. All right. So, like Ryan, I have a few hubs and doing good. There you go. Can go talk over the plays. This page, feel free to contact anywhere. So other networks allow people to have hubs. I didn't want to talk people through how to do it. It wasn't that I didn't allow it. I just told you you had to figure it out. So far, there's only been a couple people that figured it out, and some of them, when they figured it out, left. And then some of them stuck around. But yeah, so to be called a liar, somewhere in here he calls me a liar. Oh yeah. Let's see. Stack back into his pitiful little life until he can find another poor little sucker to lie to. Poor little sucker to lie to. So apparently his person that was just trying to better his experience in the community of GLRS is a poor sucker. Yeah. So
That's why, sucker.
yeah, I like to lie about things, and I freaking everything's on Facebook, and Facebook's on the phone that I'm streaming from. But yeah, let's see. Any more questions that I need that anybody wants to ask about how to join if you are on another network? Not so much if you need to be able to completely join. Um, I'm currently sitting on an email from somebody that I don't know. He sent me a picture of he filled out the do-it-yourself form and sent me a picture of his hardware. But now I gotta read a book. I don't like. Let's see. Come on, there we go. I don't like reading books, and yeah, I'd rather do things over the radio. Let's see. There we go. How much it costs to set up? Well, that's what I'm saying. If you're close, I mean, come on, let's go. But otherwise, it's I don't know how much pies are running for nowadays. I haven't looked. Raspberry Pis are quite expensive, I believe, and then the extra hardware, 55 for the sound card, micro SD card, 10-15 bucks. The radio, 15 bucks. I think they're up to now. The biggest problem is the pies, the limited edition of the pies, which I do have a couple extra. I keep try to keep some extra. I got to make sure that one in my truck is not completely dead. Oh, it's been joyful trying to keep the node going while I'm in the truck, man. It just there's failures when I turn the key and shit. If I'm moving around the yards and stuff, it's constantly turning the node on and off, on and off, on and off, and yeah, it corrupts some stuff. So I had a dude recently ask, "How am I able to allow somebody in that does not have that I don't have their IP address?" That's a very good question. That and it's because I don't run a registry. I don't feel the need to run a registry. I don't care to have a register. We've been running all this years without a register because nobody cares. And now because I said this, there might be some repercussions to it that I might have to deal with, but I don't care. We will get past it like we have in the past. Um, we've only been attacked one other time, and it was dealt with, and it lasted for a few minutes, and it was done. But as far as um, you remember that, he's probably the only person that remembers that. But we'll deal with it if it happens. But it doesn't need an IP address on the receiving end. It only needs an IP address to dial out. Think about it like a phone call. You need to know where to go. If you don't know where to go, then it ain't going to go nowhere. Your IP address or DNS is your phone number, essentially. It is your public IP address. It is your public internet phone number, essentially. And without that, without having that, you can't connect. Um, but that's for the person that's making the connection, not for the person that's receiving the connection. The receiver connection only cares if your node number is in the system or in that RPT file, like I showed in that last video. So for those of you that do not want to pay the $15 and you don't want to join TGLN, just put all your hub numbers in the bottom of your RPT file. And then whatever your hub is, obviously you have your ports open. Put your hub number in there and let everybody connect to it. I'm not going to give the secret away of where the nodes lists are pulled from, but I'm going to say Google it. It's out there. You just got to look for it. When I did this shit, it wasn't out there and it sucked. It took a while. It took me a long time to figure out um, where Hamvoip was hiding his shit. Once I found it, it was on. We were good. But I like the guys at Hamvoip. I've actually dealt with one of the dudes from over there, and if it wasn't for this network, VoIP would not be running on a Pi 4 because I was the first person to approach the guy that developed the software and said, "Hey, I got a dude over here with a Pi 4 and he wants to run with it." And he's like, "Okay, I'll let you know when I got a working prototype." And then he texted me back a couple days later and said, "Here you go. Let me know if your dude's thing could boot this." Texted him back, booted. He's like, "All right, good." A couple days later, it was on the website. Um, so yeah, but like I say, the, if you watch the last video and the bottom line of the RPT file, essentially, as long as it's written in there in that floor mat, in the hop twos, in the receiving end, it does not matter what their IP address is, as long as you're not running a register server. If you're running a register server, I believe it goes through a different protocol and shit and stuff I never felt that was necessary to look into because nobody cares. I mean, they really don't. If people really cared, we would probably have a little more issues. um, but and we might after this video. Who knows? But it's starting to get fucking cold in here. We've got a severe wind right now that's coming in from my right, and which might look like a guy's left. Let me point over here. Um, and it is just it's rocking the truck. It's blowing me. It's drafty in here, but hopefully this kind of cleared up some things. Um, I will be posting this. I will be saving this, and I will be spreading it around. So yeah, hopefully that touched based on a few things. If the guys on the network want to wave a hand over the actual air and be heard over YouTube, you can you can throw your call sign out there if you want to. If you want to put your address all over the YouTube. If not, just say yo. Let's see. I gotta turn it up. I think I turned it down on them. It's going to snow like crazy. I know they've already called off our schools, and I'm not looking forward to driving in that. I know there's a delay in this, so I got to give it a little bit. What good idea is that? That was a fun funeral for him. Poor guy. Rest his soul. Anybody else listening? Come on. Bill, I believe. I don't know his call sign. I just think that's the voice. Who else we got listening on the YouTube that wants to chime in? Come on. Before I hang up here. Let's see. I'm going to go make me some cheeseburgers. You want to know how? There goes Wally. Anybody else watching that wants to chime in? Let's see. Did I get anybody to comment while I was looking down? You guys see my bald spot? No. Let's go to Snoop. Brian Wausau. Brian, man, email me. GMRS101000 at Gmail. Oh, yeah. Nets. I kind of want to start one, but I don't want to start one. I I don't like them, but I kind of get it. When the network is when the network was busy, I never seen the point in it because the network was busy. There used to be a point in the network's life when you key up the radio and you were able to pretty much talk to somebody day or night, and I never seen the point in it. How much you like Zero? I'll get to that. So the Zet, the Zell, the Zello, the net, was ran for a little while, and whole pre-check in and stuff, and what was the point? And I'd rather actually have somebody that's on the air instead of checking in on a website. It just got way overcomplicated, and there was people pre-checking in that weren't even coming in on the air. So like, yeah, and he wants to get me started on Zello. So the reason why I don't like Zello, yeah, it went out. I think they had to move it off of Rib Mountain, and I don't know if they ever put it back. But anyways, when it comes to Zello, I don't like it because we don't have control over it. We don't maintain it. We don't have know where anything is at, and there's latency in it, and it's not a real good backbone for what we're trying to do because it's instantaneous what we're doing versus going hop 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 hop. Now you get it, and it's might not be too bad in some cases. But I don't like not knowing where the data is going. When you're in there, and I get that. When you're on your phone, you don't know where it's going. But I do talk freely on the network, and I might say a little bit too much, and I really don't need it recorded. Where Zello does that. But me personally, I don't like Zello. But as far as the network is concerned, it's just another way in. It's another avenue. Don't fuck it up because I don't want to hear it fucked up, and I will let you know if it's all fucked up. If you got it working good, then whatever. But if it's all fucked up, I don't want to hear it. I have a high standard, and when it comes to the audio settings, and I think we do a pretty good, decent job on trying to get everybody's audios flat across the board, where you're not turning up and down your radio all the time. Let's move to Mosley Hill. Yeah, but as far as the Zella, yeah, fix your shit. But I don't. I tried it years ago, and I couldn't get the ping out of it. Whenever the Zella would unkey, for whatever reason, the network would ping back. Even though I was running a simplex node without courtesy tone and all that shit, it would still just ping back into the Zella room. And to me, that's not working. If I can't let go and get back in, you know, pretty quickly, it's not working right. And I just gave up on it. That's my take. I might threaten to boot somebody if they connect Zello, but I have never done it. I've never booted anybody. A lot of people may or may not know that there's phone apps to this network. We've had mixed experiences with it. I think when you're out on cellular data, I don't know if it works the best versus being at home on Wi-Fi. Um, I may or may not contemplate on opening the phone app back up on this network. It wouldn't be hard to do because everybody's got a phone. Not everybody wants to carry their nodes around. And that's, I think, one of the leg ups that the other networks have. They started connecting all these Zello channels and shit into them because everybody has their cell phones. Everybody's got their cell phones. So, yeah, you're going to have more traffic where you have more people because they carry a cell phone. It is RF. I mean, I understand that, but I'm a truck driver. If I get caught with this in my hand, it's fine. I get caught with this in my hand, it's not a caught. They don't say nothing. So to me, that's why I do it. That's why I like the network. When I'm driving, I don't have to worry about it. But if I'm holding this stupid thing up, and I don't want to wear my damn headset all day long or all night long or whatever. Well, that's why I ride with my seat down low so they can't see it. But yeah, I'm hungry, tired. Gotta go turn this APU on so I could turn the heat on in here because it's starting to get chilly in here. And I don't like being chilled. So if you're looking to talk, I did mention that I can um, kind of keep you out of the public eye of being on the network if you are scared of repercussions from the other networks for being on this network. So you just gotta let me know in the email that you send with your other network's node number, and then I will let you know what node number to connect to. Pay attention to that video. I mentioned in the video, all you got to do is change the node numbers on that line that I mentioned in the video, and you're good to go. And that's It's the same thing. You could even leave 200.2 in there and have whatever you want to connect to your hub in that line, and it will still allow them to connect. It doesn't pay that close attention to it. So, all right. Well, I don't know if this was a good or a bad thing, but Brian, email me and we'll talk. Uh, like I said, part of the hobby is getting people in the door. I've had help along the way, and I don't mind returning the favor. So, all right, I'm gonna go have a bacon cheeseburger for dinner tonight, and might go rile up some people on the radio. So we'll talk to you guys later. Have yourselves a good night. I wanted to bring somebody on, but I don't know how to do it. It's not even giving me the option to stop neither. There it goes.